Hey, what's happening, YouTubers? We're back with a brand new unboxing video. Today we have a very special one. It's the Marvel Legends Infinity Saga 2-pack Iron Man Mark 85 and Thanos from the Avengers Endgame movie. Now this one is a very special one because I've been looking forward to this 2-pack ever since it was announced on Hasbro's FanFest, Fan First Friday, Fan First Monday, whatever the hell it is. I've just been looking forward to getting this, and this just came through from Target this morning. So without further ado, let's go ahead like we always do, y'all. We'll get started with the package art first. Now on the side of the packaging, it says the Infinity Saga on top, and then of course below it, just like in the Odin packaging, it has characters from the Infinity Saga. The other side of the packaging, it says the same thing on top, and then some more characters. And on the back of the packaging, shows the poster for Avengers Endgame. Now this is something I've heard from a different source. I'm not sure if it's true or not. The reason why you see the Iron Man helmet instead of Robert Downey Jr.'s likeness is because he didn't sign off on it. So he only signed off on certain things for certain merchandise, which is very interesting to me, to be honest with you. But anyways, on the back is a little read-up on Iron Man Mark 85 and Thanos, so allow me to go ahead and read it for you. For Iron Man, it says Iron Man steps onto the battlefield against Thanos in the ultimate fight for the fate of the universe. And on the right side, it says Thanos is a destructive force that will stop at nothing to achieve his goals. And here we see the front of the packaging again. And as you can see, this box is huge. It basically covers the entire Dragon Star series martial arts tournament base. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get these things out of the packaging. And here they are out of the packaging. Like we always do, we'll get started on their accessories first. Okay, so the first set of accessories we're going to look at are Thanos's, and I'll be honest with you, we're going to get Thanos and his review out of the way first, because I'm really looking forward to the Iron Man figure, which is honestly the whole reason why I bought the 2-pack, but it's nice to have another Thanos figure again in the collection. Okay, first we're going to take a look at the additional head sculpts that Thanos comes with, and honestly, I think you pretty much have seen them before with previous Thanos figures, but the first one we're going to look at is an angry Thanos head with his armored helmet, and I think this was part of the Build-A-Figure wave. Okay, the next head sculpt we're going to look at is kind of like a neutral one. Now, this one we've seen before with the 3-pack with Doctor Strange and Iron Man from Infinity War, and then again with the Children of Thanos 5-pack. That was an Amazon exclusive. So we've seen this head sculpt before. It's just got redecoed or had kind of a cleaner paint job than the previous ones. And then the next head sculpt we're going to look at is one we've seen before several times, actually. I think this head sculpt was used in the original Build-A-Figure wave from like 2018 for Infinity War. And then we saw it again, I think, in the 3-pack. And then I'm not sure if this came with the Children of Thanos. Honestly, it's hard to keep track of how many Thanos' head sculpts we've gotten. But I know we've definitely seen this one before. And like I mentioned, just the paint job's a little bit cleaner than previously. And then the next accessory piece we're going to look at is an additional hand sculpt for the Nano Gauntlet. I was about to say Infinity Gauntlet. The Nano Gauntlet that he comes with, and it has all the 6 Infinity Stones in there. And then the last accessory piece we're going to look at that Thanos comes with is the Blade. Now we finally have a movie accurate one. Ones that fans have been asking for ever since the movie first came out, and not that concept one that we've been getting. So it's nice to finally see a movie accurate Blade that Thanos carries. Okay, now we're going to take a look at the actual figure itself, and we'll look at the other head sculpt that's on Thanos right now. And it's supposed to be of him being dusted. Now, while I appreciate Hasbro's efforts in trying to portray that, in my opinion, no disrespect, I don't think they quite hit the mark with this, because it just looks like he's made of stone, to be honest with you. Or it also looks like he's got like a bad hair on there, like a toupee. But I mean, I appreciate the efforts, and you know, the suit itself looks good. You can definitely tell it's battle damaged, and I think it would probably be like after Scarlet Witch like effed him up pretty bad, because you see part of his armor missing, and it's all damaged right there. And then there's other parts missing on this side as well. But overall, I think it's a good redo of the Build-A-Figure that came out in 2019. Again, I never got that one, to be honest with you, just because I wasn't really a fan of it. But apparently they made improvements to this one, like they added ankle pivot on there where it wasn't there before with the previous figure. They got the skirt accurate to the movie, unlike the previous one as well. I'm just kind of breezing through this figure, to be honest with you, because I'm really looking forward to the Iron Man one. But let me know in the comments below what you think about the Thanos figure. Again, I appreciate the efforts of getting him dusted, but I'm probably going to switch the head sculpt out with something else. Alright, that's enough about Thanos. Let's move on to the real reason why a lot of us, I would say, bought this 2-pack. Let's go on to the main event of this 2-pack set, Iron Man Mark 85. We'll get started with the accessories first. First accessory we're going to look at is this translucent shield that he uses when Bruce snaps his fingers to bring everyone back. And I'm not sure, someone in the comments let me know for sure if I'm right or wrong. I think this is just basically a repaint of the original Mark 50 shield that came with the Spider-Man or the Iron Spider 2-pack from Infinity War. And the next accessory we're going to look at is like this blade that I believe Iron Man uses during the beginning stages when they first fight Thanos, when it's like the big three against him. Now we're going to look at the 2 additional set of hands that he comes with. The first one we're going to look at are like these fisted ones. And the next set of additional hands he comes with are like these open ones for the repulsor blast. And speaking of repulsor blast, that's the next accessory we're going to look at. So basically it just ports into the peg hole right there. And the cool thing about these, and I think it's mentioned before, these do have some sort of swivel in them, which is cool because in prior Iron Man figures before, you couldn't swivel this piece. Now, this Iron Man comes with 2 additional head sculpts. So the first one we're going to look at is the helmeted Iron Man Mark 80 helmet. And the second additional head sculpt he comes with is Robert Downey Jr.'s likeness. Now, this is the one without the damage. And what I already did, I took the liberty of just popping it out of the peg hole to show you all that, yes, you can swap the heads out, and it comes with this neck like piece attached to it, but you can still pop it out of the ball joint. And I just wanted to take a second to really appreciate Hasbro and their photoreal like that likeness is so on point to Robert Downey Jr. Like, this is literally the best Robert Downey Jr. head sculpt we've gotten, period. This, and of course the damage one I'm about to show you here in a second, but man, that is so on point to the likeness of RDJ. Let me know in the comments below what you all think. In my opinion, this is one of the best head sculpts Hasbro has ever produced. Now, when looking at the actual figure itself, it's a little bit darker, I feel like, than the previous release, because this technically is a re-release of this body mold. They came out with the Mark 85, I think it was 2 years ago, for the Bro Thor Build-A-Figure wave. There are some pros and cons to this one. I do like the shinier finish of the previous release, but I think this one goes more in hand with like towards the end of the movie when his suit's been a little bit damaged and beat up. Then you see also the nano gauntlet on Tony with the snapping finger. I mean, this thing just looks so good and so dope. Honestly, the real reason though a lot of us picked this up is for that RDJ head sculpt. I mean, I'm happy we got another re-release of the Mark 85 because I think if you find it on the secondary market, it goes for a pretty penny. I think last time I checked eBay, it was floating between like $70 to $80, but not anymore now with this re-release. Okay, so for this week, I am going to be doing a stop motion articulation just because I've been so stoked to get this figure. I won't do one for Thanos, but let's go ahead and do a stop motion articulation for Iron Man Mark 85. So his head moves from side to side, and also it goes up and down. He does have your shoulder swivel, bicep swivel, double jointed elbows, and wrist swivel as well. He also has a diaphragm joint that goes around. Leg can go up that high with thigh swivel and double jointed knees. And of course, ankle articulation and ankle pivot. Okay, one last thing I wanted to showcase, just to show you all. So I still have the nano gauntlet that belonged to the Iron Man Mark 85 from the Diamond Select version. And the peg hole kind of fits. It's a little bit smaller than the Marvel Legends one, but you can port it into the port like that. So it does work because we didn't get an open-handed gauntlet like he did have in the movie. So it does work, but let me know if you guys think that works or not. All right, now we're going to jump right into size comparisons. And first size comparison here is Thanos standing next to the Diamond Select Endgame Armored Thanos and the Infinity War 3-pack Thanos that came with Doctor Strange and Iron Man Mark 50. And I'll be honest, out of the 2 Marvel Legends ones, I still prefer the Infinity War Thanos better than this armored one or even the Build-A-Figure one. And for one of those random ass size comparisons, just because there's always been parallels in the comics between Darkseid and Thanos, here is Thanos standing next to the McFarlane Toys Snyder Cut Justice League Darkseid. And for another random ass size comparison, really random, here he is standing next to a couple other McFarlane Toys figures from My Hero Academia. We have Deku, not Todoroki, and Ochako. My Shiden Heart. Okay, now jumping into size comparisons for the Iron Man Mark 85. Here he is standing next to the Marvel Legends Iron Man Mark 50 from Infinity War, and I believe this one is from the 2-pack with the Iron Spider. And one thing I did want to try, I kind of want to do a head swap between the Mark 50 and pop on the Robert Downey head sculpt because it does fit in there. But the only thing is, it looks kind of like big. Like this one thing I did notice about this head sculpt, it is kind of like big and it doesn't really look proportioned with the body. All right, next size comparison. Here he is next to 2 other Avengers and who some fans might consider the holy trinity of the MCU. We have the Infinity War Thor and the Power and Glory Captain America. And next size comparison. Here he is next to the Marvel Legends Tony Stark from the 2-pack from the first 10 years with the Mark 1. And you can see Like proportionately, this is way shorter, and also you can see what I'm talking about in terms of the head sculpts. That head is huge. If you were to put that head on that figure, it looked like a bobblehead, to be honest with you. Up until this point, this was the best Robert Downey head sculpt we had gotten, but now this one definitely supersedes it. And this next size comparison is just really showcasing, in my opinion, the best Hasbro figures with the best photo real tech. On the left, you see Marvel Legends Heimdall from the Bro Thor Build-A-Figure wave, and then last year's PulseCon exclusive of Sir Patrick Stewart as Professor X from the Logan movie. And let me know in the comments below which you all think is the best of the best when it comes to Hasbro's photo real tech when it comes to these figures. In my opinion, these three are probably the best ones that Hasbro has produced. And keeping it within the X-Men theme, here he is standing next to Deadpool and Logan from the PulseCon exclusive. And just kind of reiterating what I was saying before in terms of that head sculpt, like, don't get me wrong, that is one of the best ones Hasbro's ever produced. But when you look at it proportion-wise to like Logan, like for all intents and purposes, that suit should be bigger than Logan, but that head is huge compared to Logan's. And last size comparison, here is Thanos and Iron Man standing to another figure part of the Infinity Saga line that I've already reviewed. Here they are standing next to Odin. Alright, so my overall thoughts on these figures individually, the Thanos one is good, definitely better than the original Build-A-Figure one. I can see they definitely made improvements in small details like having it more movie accurate than instead of the rendered art or the concept art. In terms of the Iron Man figure, I absolutely love it. Again, it's one of the main reasons why I bought this 2-pack, and I think as a 2-pack overall, not quite happy with it, but then again, I know how it works. The reason why this 2-pack was so expensive was because of the man you see right in front of you. The likeness to RDJ cost some bucks, so obviously Hasbro was smart and they knew what they were doing, putting this as a 2-pack, so that way they can maximize their profits. But enough about numbers. The figure overall is insanely awesome. It's one of the best head sculpts we've seen, especially the battle damage one. My only complaint is I wish they would have given us another one with like an open hand with the stones in it right before he snaps his fingers. And I also, it's a little nitpicky, I do wish the head sculpt was a little bit smaller so it's more proportioned with the body. But overall, it's an amazing figure in my honest opinion and one of the best ones of the year. But let me know in the comments below what you all think about this 2-pack and specifically the Iron Man figure itself. Do you agree with my take on it being one of the best head sculpts using the photo real tech? Leave a like and also be sure to smash that subscribe button if you're not already subscribed to the channel. Thank you for watching. And the next accessory piece he comes with is a fisted... Oh, shit.